I 28M messed up by asking my girlfriend 26F to stop talking about her late boyfriend. Original post. Her college boyfriend passed away in an accident 5 years ago. I 28M understand that he will always be part of her 26F life, and she will always love him. Her grief and trauma and how she dealt with losing her boyfriend is a part of who she is as a person. We have been dating for 2 years. The problem is that she brings him into our relationship. Every time I make a mistake or get hurt, she always brings up how he used to treat her and how I should try to be more like him. She doesn't do it in an accusatory way, but it still kind of stings. It has been getting to me. Yesterday, I got news that I received the promotion I had been vying for. I was not very hopeful about getting it. It was a position which had many candidates from all different departments. We celebrated a little. We started talking about how we could do all the things we had planned for. In the middle of the conversation, I joked about being too anxious about these things. She responded by saying that her boyfriend had always been so calm and collected, very chill about everything. He could just shrug off anything. I am exactly the opposite. I am anxious and a person who worries a lot. I don't know why, but it hurt me a lot. I asked her to stop talking about him. She looked offended but didn't respond, and I just ruined the night. We sat there for a few minutes before she decided to clean up and go to bed early. I feel like I am being compared against someone I will never match up to. I know that he is very important to her, but can't she cherish him without making me feel like shit? She has been distant today. I know she is hurt. She has barely spoken to me today. I feel I should have just ignored her comments and rolled with it. My message and delivery were all wrong. I feel guilty about hurting her. I should have done a better job of being sensitive about this and brought it up when she was celebrating. I want to sort this out and have a productive conversation with her so that we can deal with this issue. How need some help going about that. Top comments. The impossible _edge 1176. I don't think you're in the wrong here. Yes, you could have been more sensitive about it, which you acknowledge and should apologize for, but I really don't think you're in the wrong. You're being held to an impossible standard, and that's 100% unfair to you. You can't even celebrate your own accomplishments without her trying to make it all about him. It sucks that it came to a head like this, but use this as a chance to finally address this issue. Deleted. You cannot move forward in your relationship with a dead guy hanging over the two of you. Yes, she can grieve and miss him. That isn't what she is doing. She is using him as a tool to aid in making you feel less than someone else. Seriously, she needs counseling. Now, the update. June 2nd, 2021, 2 months later, all the comments here helped me understand that we needed to talk about the issue, but she was still a bit mad at me. I thought I should just give her space for a few days. I think a day or two after it was announced that I was being promoted. Some of my colleagues hosted a little after-work dinner for me as I would be moving divisions and not working with them anymore. It was nice and it really touched me, and it also made me understand how fucked our relationship had become. I got what the comments meant, but I guess actually having a nice dinner celebrating my success felt great and made me truly understand how unhappy I felt. We had the talk a few days later. I told her that I felt unhappy and unappreciated, that I felt like I needed some time away from her. She almost seemed like she was waiting for this. She didn't seem particularly upset over it. She said she understood and she would move back to her parents as soon as possible. I know it is ugly, but some part of me wanted her to be upset, some proof that she cared for me. I don't know. I feel like she didn't love me at all. I feel like I wasted years being in love with her. She moved out 2 weeks ago and I miss her a lot. Home feels really lonely without her, but at the same time, I feel better. Not a lot, but I feel a bit better about myself. It is strange. She is not a bad person. She is a wonderful person. And that is why I fell in love with her. But the closer we got, the less happy our relationship made me. I know a lot of it was my fault, and I need to work on communication skills. Top comments. I'm down 1. I know it's hard, but you absolutely did the right thing. I remember your original post and was so frustrated at your ex's behavior. It's going to be hard and sad now, but you will be so happy soon. Take the time to breathe freely and enjoy being on your own. Half bastard. You made the right decision. You can't compete with a ghost. Story 2. AITA for refusing to give up my bedroom to visiting family members. I'm a 30-year-old single woman. In a few weeks, I'll be moving to a new city in a different state for work. I'll be moving into a small 1-bedroom apartment. A little over a week ago, my older brother, his wife, and I made a trip to an IKEA store to check out some sofas. I was looking for a lightweight sofa for the new apartment that could be easily dismantled and moved around by myself. I found a sofa that fit the bill. Both my brother and his wife also agreed it was a nice sofa and that I should get it online and have it delivered. A couple days later, my brother and I were talking about my move. At one point, he says, "You better buy a pull-out sofa for when we come to visit." I was surprised. I told him that I had already decided on the sofa that we saw in the IKEA store, but that I'd make up the sofa nicely and also get a sleeper mat to put in living room for them. My brother gets offended and says, no, if we are coming to visit, you should either have a pull-out sleeper sofa or give up the bedroom. I get upset and tell him that it's really unreasonable to put demands on me as to what furniture I should buy or where I should sleep in my own apartment. Basically, we start to argue. He tells me it makes no sense to have a couple sleep in the living room in a one-bedroom apartment. He tells me I shouldn't be so attached to my bedroom. I tell him that I'm not the type of person to visit someone's house, either friend or family, and make demands about sleeping arrangements. Then the argument starts to get heated. He tells me I'm being an absolutist. He tells me I put too much emphasis on my own comfort. He tells me that I'm not being considerate of the fact that he's married. I tell him that I feel like I'm being penalized for being single. I already deal with family members who infantilize and condescend to me. They don't see me as an adult woman deserving any respect. And so I'm always expected to compromise and be the peacemaker. Ultimately, after nearly an hour of arguing, my brother and I apologize to one another. We are both really close and neither of us likes to fight. Basically, my brother resolved that if he comes to visit by himself, he'll sleep on my sofa. But if he comes with his wife, they'll stay elsewhere. I told him that I would look at some sleeper sofas since I hadn't put in my IKEA order yet, and also said that I respect that he and his wife may not stay over with me when they come to visit. Truthfully, I still feel hurt. Even though we put the argument to rest, I just want to know if I'm truly being a selfish and unreasonable asshole. Obviously, there's a logic to having a couple take the bedroom. But I'm also tired of always having to compromise. Edit. Additional context, I do not live with my brother. I live on my own. But we live very close to each other, 15 minutes away. We see each other all the time. Now, for the new job, I'll be moving 6 hours away. Also, I realize how ridiculous it is to have an argument based on hypotheticals and over a sofa, no less. All I can say is that we are Asian American and we grew up with emotionally immature parents. We grew up walking on eggshells. I think we both developed this strategy of gaming out and talking through every possible scenario. There's definitely more emotional baggage behind this conversation. As the single daughter, I've become the default caregiver to our boomer parents who did not prepare for retirement properly. Our parents often stay with me, sometimes for months at a time. They do not stay at my brother's place. They don't like his wife. This will likely change now that I'm moving. The two of us siblings try to help our parents as best we can financially and emotionally. We've always been close, probably because we grew up dealing with our parents' nonsense from such an early age. As adults, my brother is much better at maintaining emotional boundaries with our parents. I have trouble with that. I have a lot of guilt over asserting my own independence. Overall, though, he is really supportive of me. He's just obstinate from time to time and doesn't always see how difficult it is to be the daughter in our family and how often I make compromises for everyone else. Anyhow, this out-of-state move will definitely be a new chapter for us all.